Welcome back to First Issues. Previously on the program, as Botswana is on a mindset change campaign as part of a bigger vision of being a high-income status economy, government has called on the private sector to help. One of the first to heed this call were the First National Bank of Botswana. When we spoke to the bank's Chief Executive Officer, Stephen Bogatsu, he said they intend, through their Shared Prosperity initiative, to give back to the communities within which they operate in a more meaningful, but most importantly, sustainable manner. This is through empowering especially women and youth groups to become self-sufficient in employment, entrepreneurship, and other societal settings. He spoke of various initiatives and programs that the bank has adopted and set up in this endeavor. The first we will be highlighting is the Moshopa Boys Prison, where the bank has resourced its library with computers, books, games, and other essentials that will help inmates be challenged and empowered mentally and technologically to assimilate better into society upon release. First Issues had a sit-down conversation with the Botswana Prison Service Commissioner, Dinah Marathe, on this new partnership.
As the prison service, our mandate is actually safe custodial care of those who have been sentenced by the courts, and their rehabilitation and eventually their reintegration back into the society. This is a role that calls for other partners to come into place. It calls for community participation and collaboration. It calls for other stakeholders, relevant stakeholders for the prison service to come on board. We had the first National Reintegration Conference, whereby we called all stakeholders and said, please come to the table. Everybody has a role to play. We work towards building our inmates into responsible citizens. But upon release, there is still a big stigma attached to their reintegration back into the society because they are not able to adequately fit in because of many issues, cultural issues, the fact that they may not be properly rehabilitated by us. We may need other people to come on board. And FNB answered this call by saying we can sponsor ICT program, your educational programs for the young offenders at Moshopa. And indeed, today we witnessed FNB Botswana, headed by CEO Bogatsu and the chairperson of FNB Foundation, Mrs. Kororani, handing to us 25 computers, educational books, many other stuff that recreational equipments for our young offenders. This would give our young offenders hope that the outside world is also involved in their rehabilitation, and that upon release, they would also be prepared to take them as employees if there are vacancies within the bank. FNB has assured me that they would also be prepared to assist in terms of absorbing some of our offenders into their institutions who would be qualifying upon release from prison. So this is a partnership that will build our operational efficiencies as the prison service. It will also build the capacity of our inmates for outside world.
As a part of this partnership, First National Bank of Botswana has also sponsored an aquaponics project at the women's prison, also aimed at equipping the inmates with skills to be ready to make a living after being released.
FNB is also working with us to build capacity at our women prison. There's a project that is ongoing I believe that before end of this year or early next year, FNB will be handing over the project to us. It's an agricultural project that takes the shape of using modern technology, whereby you don't need a lot of space to plow and harvest and have a big harvest. So it's something that we believe that our women offenders, once capacitated with that, when they leave prison life and are absorbed by the general public at their homes, they would be able, each at a small level, be able to undertake such a project to feed themselves and their families.
The Commissioner adds that besides this partnership with the bank, the prison service has partnered with other organizations that once prisoners are released, they are adequately supported to successfully reintegrate back into society.
We have partnered with other government organizations outside the prison service, the councils, the hospitals, the NGOs, the churches. They have all offered to provide their services to our ex-convicts, people who have finished their sentences when they leave the prison service. So there is general support out there. Botswana are suddenly shifting towards accepting these people and, assisting them through our reintegration committees to find better ways of surviving other than going back to crime. So we see a lot of shift, and we also preparing the inmates themselves before they leave by reconciling them with their victims. That reach out has actually worked in our favor and in the favor of the inmates to ensure that they have smooth transition back into the society.
We conclude the short series next time, where we talk about another one of the bank's shared prosperity projects. This program was brought to you in association with First National Bank of Botswana.